we're going to talk about dropping the club in the slot, and we're going to take some inspiration from an online academy member, Mark. Mark has historically really struggled with the downswing. So he's had issues where he's rotated his chest too much, he's had issues where he hasn't moved his arms correctly, and he's ended up always coming down too steep, and he's done all sorts of different things. But what we've done now is we've produced a really consistent backswing position together. And what we've also done is he's really started to understand what he's looking for in the downswing position. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. There's three things that we're going to basically understand with regards to the hands and arms. The first one is your upper arm. So once you've produced the backswing position, and let's say it looked pretty similar to Mark's, he's got the club nicely kind of in a position where the club shaft is relatively pointing down towards the target line. And this would be deemed as on plane. So what this means is as he starts the downswing, all he's got to do is move his upper arm to the side of his body like so to be able to bring the club down the plane line. Now, as you do that while straightening your right arm, that will advance the club into the slot, okay? So into the slot, let me grab my little plane tool here, okay? So into the slot basically means if I put that down so you guys can see relative to my sort of plane line, so I go up, into the slot is this position here, that sort of delivery position, okay? And Mark does a really, really good job of that. Now, I also have lots of golfers who equally do really, really good with this, okay? They get the club into a nice delivery position, but then it kind of still goes a little bit wrong at a later part of the swing. And the reason for this is because the next bit. So this is going to represent, I'm going to put this little plane tool down here. So we've got the club in the slot, but then from here, what happens with a lot of golfers is then the club ends up swinging out to him. So the next thing you've got to do, you've got it into this delivery position, you've got to keep it moving. Okay, so the way I don't get into the delivery position and then stop. Okay, what happens, I've got to keep my right arm moving, like so. Okay, and what that does is that takes the club from the delivery position. Let's say we do a bit of rotation, it advances the club, so I'm hitting it now from the inside. Okay, there's one last piece of the puzzle. The club face is going to be really open at this point. So what we need to do is close it. Now, I personally think it's best to think about the right hand is doing this, and the left hand is doing this to square the face. But to be honest, as long as your hands keep moving whilst you're squaring the club face, then that's absolutely fine. And what Mark has been able to do is produce a really nice backswing position, drop the club in the slot, keep the hands moving, rotate it, so he's able to hit some nice straight shots all of the time. And a good drill, nice little simple, basic, really cost-effective training aid way of doing this is you can do the alignment stick drill, but also Swing Buddy, they do these little pieces of foam. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you swing up, you get it into the delivery position, but you keep the hands moving. And see, the point is that I let it hit me. So the way I keep the hands moving, so you can see the way this is going roughly through my sort of lower rib line. And then as I square the face, I allow the piece of foam to hit me. And what this does is this stops you kind of doing this, and it makes you get the club into a delivery position. And it's a really kind of cost-effective, easy sort of training aid way to do. And you can just then practice just doing some half swings, let it hit you, but you know at the point when it hits you is when you're going to be striking the ball, okay? And it just makes a massive, massive difference. Work on those three aspects, it'll make a big difference. Remember, if you're interested in becoming an online member, it's absolutely free to do so. It means you have access to all of the videos, it means you have access to the community, you can share swings. And the reason why I do this is because I meet lots of golfers all the time, and no one is ever working on the right thing. So it is my job to try and help as many golfers, at least point you in the right direction. I'll see you soon.